podcast. I am Frank, and here with me, as always,
David. Oh, sorry, I didn't catch that. You even pointed at me. That's my fault.
I did.
Whatever.
I guess I didn't put an is in there, or I don't know, dude. You should have picked it up.
We're just getting back to you. Got to cut me a little bit of slack.
Yeah, it has been a while.
It's been like 7 months.
We just put out some stuff, but we recorded that stuff a long time ago.
It's very obvious. If you listened to it, you were like, wow, this is a long time ago.
It's a good thing we're not a super topical show.
Yeah, except for that episode that we released super late.
Yeah, that'll
super
happen.
topical. Yeah,
That'll
whatever. Happen. Everyone's got a couple stumbles.
Yeah, but we have we're trying to stumble a little bit less, and we got some news for you. David, why don't you tell the people what we got going on?
Oh yeah, new year, new show.
New year, new show.
Yeah, it's February. That's typical. We're already late a month. So basically, we did those podcasts. We were thinking about switching more towards videos. And then we were kind of soul searching a little bit. Like, okay, if we're going to continue with this, we need to figure out exactly how we're going to do it, what we're going to do, when we're going to do it.
What are we doing?
Exactly. We're lacking focus. And not like just with our brains, but like the project wasn't focused. So anyways, the plan is we're going to do both and live streaming, more of that. So every 2 weeks, we're going to put out a video. It's going to be on Sunday. Everything's going to be on YouTube now. It's just going to be YouTube from now on, at least until, further notice or something. But
yeah, it's all there. You can just find it right there.
So we're going to do a podcast, which is going to be a little bit shorter. We're going to do one topic in Peeps and Predicts. It's going to be more focused. And then we'll do a live stream of a video game. And then we'll do a video on a topic, which currently now is either going to be movie related or video game related, both sort of in a review-ish kind of way, talking about our impressions of stuff. But we're going to alternate those every 2 weeks. So this week you're getting, currently if you're listening to it, you're getting a podcast. 2 weeks from now, we're going to do a live stream. Then another 2 weeks of video. And then 2 weeks after that, podcast. We just start over again.
And that's what you're going to get.
That's pretty much it. I mean, the only other thing is that actually, we're breaking the schedule as soon as we start it, but next week, 1 week from when you're listening to this, hopefully, if you're listening to it the day it came out, we're going to do a second podcast, a little bonus podcast about a surprise topic. I don't even want to say it yet. It's going to be good. I'm excited. We're going to have some guests. It's going to be a good time.
Which is really also kind of a live stream, so it's two bonuses for you.
Yeah, we're going to live stream this thing on PlayStation just because...
Logistically, that's going to be the best way for us to do it.
Yeah, we were thinking about how we're going to do this and create something that's going to be, somewhat quality. And the plan, I guess, is that around 12 to 2 p.m. Eastern, Mountain Time, 12 to 2. No, I'm sorry, Saturday. It's going to be on a Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday, 12 p.m. Mountain Time.
Yeah, Saturday, 12 p.m. Mountain Time.
Which will be 10 a.m. No, 2 p.m. Eastern time.
We'll just let them figure it out.
Yeah,
yes,
you figure it out.
2 p.m. Eastern time. You're right.
Logistics.
And the date's going to be February 17th. So just so we're clear, February 17th at 12 at 12 Mountain Time. We're going to have a live show on the channel. So if you're listening. Stop on by. You can ask us a question. We'll have to talk about it while we're here because we'll finally actually be able to take questions while we're doing something, which I think is kind of interesting.
I suppose that would be an option.
Yeah, totally.
I hadn't thought about that. That's a little bit of extra pressure.
Yeah, exactly. So listen in. If you have something good and you chime in, we'll see if we can squeeze it in. But
squeeze it right in there.
Basically, it's just like if we're gonna do this thing, we're gonna do we're gonna go 100%. You know what I mean? So.
Maybe even 110%.
Maybe we might give 110%. I'll go 107. But just expect. We're going to do it. We're not going to try and do it. We're going to do it. The schedule is going to be intense. Not that intense. Every 2 weeks you'll get something. That's pretty much it.
It's not too intense, I guess. It's a good speed for us.
Yeah, because we're going to slack off a little bit.
All right, so that's the schedule. And here we go. Today we're going to be talking about, just things you don't know. And really, these are just like gaps in your knowledge that you found out probably like later in your life than you should have, maybe.
Yeah.
For me, some of these were just like maybe not like huge things, but when they were brought to my attention that I had them incorrectly in my head, they were just like earth shattering. They're just like big moments that I always have remembered. So yeah.
It's
And how
definitely-
did this come about, David? You're the one that suggested this topic.
I'm smirking over here because I remembered the story. It's just too much, man. So our friend Randy, who I'm sure we've talked about before, we've had to have at some point.
He's a man worth being talked about.
Yeah, Randy, our buddy, we're hanging out. We're trying to figure out what we're going to do for this first podcast back because it's been a while. We're releasing them, and it's like we need a good topic. And he's like, maybe we should do a podcast about food and what kind of food people like. And what kind of spicy food people enjoy, and why people like spicy food. I was like, Randy, there's no way we're going to cover food.
This is a terrible
podcast idea.
This is a terrible podcast idea. Horrible pitch.
Yeah. So after openly ridiculing him, Randy and I were leaving to coincidentally get food, and he tells me that he was having a conversation with his mom, and his mom was having like a church meeting, someone from church, and they're talking, and basically it's hard to, they're not clicking. There's like a bunch of dead silence in the conversation, and she describes it to him as, there was a lot of lulls in the conversation. And Randy was like, mind you, a 29-year-old man was like, do you mean lull? Like LOL? What do you mean? What lull? He had never heard the word lull before, which to me I don't even understand how that's possible. But that's really what we're getting at. That's totally what we're getting at here.
Sometimes you just learn something.
You just learn something.
And it's something at the same time you learn that you probably should have learned that a long time ago.
Yeah, that's the key part here. You have to sort of feel a little embarrassed.
Oh, definitely.
Like
a little bit of shame.
How did I get away with this? So I'm hoping, I don't know, we'll see who tops each other embarrassment wise. I'm excited to see what happens.
Yeah, let's see. So first I got going, and this one was fairly recently. I want to say what this was like within the last year or two. The phrase "all intents and purposes." I had always thought it was all intensive purposes. And I think this is kind of a common one, but oh boy, did I just like... I feel like somebody said something about it, like about people getting it wrong. And in my head, I was like, oh my goodness. I've been doing it wrong this whole time. Thank God I hadn't just said this.
That's great. I think so those are pretty common.
Yeah.
Like espresso and espresso or that kind of thing.
Espresso?
Yeah, I got that a lot when I used to work at a coffee shop.
Can you be more specific?
Oh, gosh. No, I'm not dealing with these kind of puns. Not this late at night.
Why not, David?
They're just terrible. I will not.
It was going to be a long night for you.
I will not. Oh, no. So it's just all intensive purposes. Wow, that's great.
All intensive purposes.
I'm definitely going to remember that.
And I feel like it probably would have been brought to my attention if I had like written it in an email or a letter, but just never used it written.
I should have gone to law school, man. You would have
It's
figured
so
that out.
close that saying it out loud, nobody like red flagged it.
Oh, yeah, because it could just be like you're slurring your speech.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
it's a super common one.
People were just like, oh my God, this guy's drunk right now.
And it's the same thing with like song lyrics. You know what I mean? That's nothing to be embarrassed about. There's like a billion YouTube videos about misheard lyrics. Only like 50 of them are good or something. I don't know. My first one is just a lack of knowledge, and I guess not being inquisitive about it at all. This one's not, I think, huge. It's specifically for gaming. But it's the term AFK, which
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I
and
think you
hadn't
were
thought
there
of it
for
till now,
that.
but I was, and it was a similar moment for me.
yeah, and I've been using AFK since like I don't know 2010, 2009 or something. Just like, oh yeah, that guy's AFK.
Just not knowing.
Shoot him or something. You know what I mean? And if you're not familiar with the term, basically AFK is when you're playing an online video game and the person on your team or on the other team or something just isn't moving, and it's clear that they're not playing. Like maybe their controller died or something. But I had no idea what it actually meant, and it means away from keyboard.
Which comes from like PC online
Which
gaming.
comes from PC online gaming, which means it must be super old.
Yeah.
To have been, I don't know. I should have looked it up. Actually,
And really, for
Oops.
console players, it should be AFC.
Hey, it should be AFC, but that's the football thing, so that's not gonna happen.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah, football.
Football.
Yeah, I don't know. That's pretty much it for me. The AFK thing is just like, I guess I was just taking it for granted. And then
I'm
it
glad I
was
didn't
like-
think of that because
I had
that
to
was
ask
totally.
someone.
You like were telling me about you were telling me about it happening to you, and I was like, what?
Huh?
So I also have these two I like chunked together because I feel like they were so small, but they were worth talking about to me because these are those smaller ones I was talking about and these are both like pointed out to me like in conversation, so there was somebody there to enjoy my embarrassment.
Ooh, that's the best.
The first one is learning that Wednesday only has one S.
Ooh.
And I learned this when I was like 17. I was like a junior in high school.
Wait, what? What
Yeah,
do you
and
mean?
this was like
Where were you putting the second S at?
behind the first one. Like a Wednesday.
Wait, what? I'm so confused.
Wednesday.
You're saying Wednesday has one S?
Wednesday has an S.
Yeah, but why? Where were you putting the second S? Like two S's in a row?
Yes, behind the first S. Piggybacking that first one. Writing in.
I was getting super confused.
Where else would I have stuck in that Wednesday?
Ness, like Ness, like the Smash,
Yeah.
the Smash character Ness. Wednesday. That's amazing.
Yes.
Ooh, that's good, dude. That's embarrassing.
And I'm pretty sure I was like
think
in
you're gonna
front of my
beat me.
class. We were all just like chilling, and I was like, "Yeah, I always know how to spell Wednesday because in my head I go Wednesday," and they were like, and I spelt it out like letter for letter, and they were like, "Wednesday only has one S," and I was like, "What are you guys talking about? Wednesday has two S's. You guys are dumb. You guys are super dumb."
I mean, I'm sure I had a similar experience when I just learned how Wednesday was spelled because, and I'm talking, I was like way younger, but
Yeah, I somehow avoided that situation until I was 17.
well, Wednesday just doesn't sound. It should be Wednesday
Yeah,
because of the way it's spelled. Doesn't make any sense.
English. What are you gonna do?
So many weird rules, so many exceptions to those rules. Same thing with February.
February. Yeah.
I always had to pronounce it that way when I was a kid to like make sure I spelled it right. That's how I just phonetically.
If I say it the way I'm supposed to say it, I'm not going to be able to pass my
February.
test.
Yeah, exactly. Spelling test in first grade or something.
And the little snippet that I've piggybacked onto that one is the K Jewelers slogan. I don't know if they still use it. I hope they do.
Every
it's a good
kiss
slogan.
begins with
Every
K.
kiss begins with K. And I was probably like 20, 21 when
Okay.
I was just, somebody was talking about it, and it finally clicked in my head. Oh my goodness, every kiss does begin with K. Oh my God.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's true. Every kiss.
That slogan
does
just had
begin
to
with K.
bounce around in my head for like 21 years.
I don't know if that's a good slogan or not. Then I mean, it's
know.
definitely memorable,
I feel like everybody else knew what was going on there.
and it's a great jingle. It's a nice little do 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 do. Simple, real solid.
Now that I get it, it's solid jingle, solid
Yeah.
slogan.
That's also embarrassing, man. But I think I also thought the same thing too. That definitely clicked. That one took a while for me. I don't remember when it was. That was a long time ago.
Years and years.
Yeah, years and years ago, and I don't remember. I mean, the last time I even heard that commercial, maybe it's not on anymore.
I'm pretty sure I like shook my head like, what? What?
Let us know in the comments if you have no idea what Every Kiss Begins with K is, just so we'll have an idea.
Let us know if you knew about the slogan, but you are now finding out for the first time just how good of a slogan it is.
The best thing that could happen is someone listening to this podcast discovers multiple things from listening to this podcast.
If this just ended up being super educational
They're
for
like,
somebody.
wait, what? It's not all intensive purposes? That's ridiculous. I just learned that last Wednesday. And they're like, what? It's only one S? Just boom, 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 right after another. That's what needs to happen. Well, my next one is a little embarrassing. I think you can give me a pass because I was so young. Wow, no, I wasn't even that young, though. I was like 11 or 12 or
Even
something.
if you were like 9, I probably wouldn't have given you a pass.
Nah, I was like a middle schooler. I should have known better. Anyways, in middle school, my favorite movie obviously was Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Come on, everybody. For a long time.
Bow.
For a while, I was pretty sure, and not just pretty sure, but like I just knew it in my mind, that Matthew Broderick sang all those songs on the parade float. Like, I thought that was his voice singing Twist and Shout, which got really confusing for me because then I'd be in the car hearing Twist and Shout like on the classic rock station. I'm like, dang, that's a song from Ferris Bueller that the Ferris sings on that float. That's crazy that they just play it on the radio all the time. Like, that song to me was from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. It wasn't until like I started getting into the Beatles in high school when I was like, oh, obviously that's Paul McCartney.
Yeah,
You know
this
what I
is
mean?
this is the exact same recording that I've been listening to for years.
Pretty embarrassing. But yeah, I was definitely a little kid.
That's a good one.
I mean, and then he sings that Dankeschön, the German song.
Yeah, that
And
should have
that
been
I
a
was
dead
like-
tip off to you right
But that
there.
I was like, oh, obviously that's a girl's voice. It's not him. But then I was like, Twist and Shout, he's going for it. He's building that
They
thing out.
wouldn't pull the same trick twice.
That's bad test taking strategy. If you're a student listening to this, don't be like, oh, I answered A on the last 3. I'm not gonna put A on this, so it's bad test
There's
taking.
no way this is gonna be A. They're trying to trick me.
No, they are trying to trick
Those
you.
sons of.
They really are. I think they do it on purpose.
Well, that actually made me think of a musical one that I didn't think of for the list, but
Oh.
it was probably until like middle school that I
Yeah.
thought like Holland Oates was like the name of the band, but it was like
like Holland?
Oates from Holland.
Yeah, Holland Oates.
Holland Oates.
That's great. A musical one that I've always had too was it wasn't until college. It wasn't until my freshman year of college that I found out that Kiss's song "Lick It Up" wasn't digital. Digital. Whoa. I mean, it makes a lot of sense given all the tongue imagery in Kiss.
Yeah,
Even
and
the name Kiss.
and the lack of like high tech imagery and it being these like old Jewish men.
And I don't know if you know, but every kiss begins with K, Frank.
What? Every kiss begins with K. Not a sponsor, but hit us up.
Yeah, hit us up. Someone needs to play that commercial.
I'll sing it all the time.
Also, Kiss, hit us
Just
up.
mid sentence sometimes.
It's got to be hard on you guys. I know it's been a long time.
Yeah, I'll just be like, and our next topic, every kiss begins with K. But I actually think it is my turn. My number 3 and my final one, and this one was a big one for me because it was like something that I always found to be such a massive inconvenience when it was an inconvenience. Like it literally wake me up in the middle of the night
Wake me up
from
inside.
just a fire group message happening on your iPhone. And you're just sleeping, and or like you're at work or something, and your phone just constant vibration. I was just looking at somebody's phone number in a group message one day, scrolled down a little too far. Hide notifications. Excuse me. What is this button? What does this button do? I felt like I had been cheating myself out of sleep and cheating myself into stress for years and years.
Oh, golly.
Oh my
Miss
goodness,
Molly.
what a magnificent feature. And I must have thought 100 times they should make a setting where I can just mute this conversation. And there was that whole time.
Maybe I'm wrong, but to give you the benefit of the doubt, I'm pretty sure that they brought that feature on later.
I mean, I'm sure it was a later feature.
Yeah, and because so many people probably thought the same thing, for sure.
But my goodness.
That is a great one. I've actually never used it on the iPhone, like the Apple messages, which I probably should sometimes. I usually just like try to get my phone far away from me. But the one that used to get me was Facebook Messenger.
Oof.
Particularly because like in college, I was in a student group that had like 20 of us. And then sometimes it like...
Or even the EP
11.
food thing.
Oh gosh, the EP food. We were in a group chat with like 80 people.
Light up.
Yeah, and then it's like, but that one, a younger college student was like, oh, you just go to the options and then blah, 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 turn it off for an hour or something. I was like, ugh, I'm an old man already. Ugh, I'm an old man.
It's funny how many of those situations I find myself in these days. Oh my goodness, I was just the old dude just then.
Yeah, it's a sign of getting older. Do you know the way thing? That was good. That was funny. Frank got approached at Guitar Center by a couple preteens or something who were like, do you know what the way is?
Do you know the way, sir? It's like, what? Do you know the way? What?
We got to make sure we don't
And they all just laughed at me because I'm an old man.
We got to make sure we don't get 6 months behind our release schedule again, or else this joke won't make sense anymore. Because meme shelf life is awful.
And we'll be talking about, we have all these mentions of like what time of year it is, and then we'll release it like 3 months later.
3 months
just
later,
talking about
exactly.
like how punctual we're gonna be from now on.
Oh, that would be awful. You know, we got to do the first one. It's like going to the gym on the first of the year. All right, I got one more. This one is embarrassing. And it's more embarrassing because it was a week ago, and then it was even more embarrassing because I just played it off.
I'm very excited.
I played it off like I knew it. Okay, so Michelle comes home the other day, and basically her grandma buys a lot of sweaters. She buys a lot of clothes. And when she gets tired of having so many clothes, she gives them to Michelle. So Michelle ends up getting like 30 grandma sweaters at a time or something.
Nice.
So then Michelle comes home from work wearing a grandma sweater, which it looks nice. It doesn't look like a grandma sweater. You know what I mean? It's a nice sweater. It's like cashmere or something. And she's bringing up the fact that it does smell like old people. You know what I mean? It smells like grandma, grandpa house. Like you can't get it. And a couple people at work were like, "Oh, it smells like mothballs in here." And she was like, "Oh, what? Okay, so up until a week ago, and I'm 26, I thought that mothballs were like the moth comes in, eats your clothes, and then like digests it, and it leaves like this gross like ball or something.
Which would technically be like a poop.
Yeah, basically like a moth poop.
A little moth poop.
So then you have holes in your clothes and you got little moth poop and then you got to pull off the mothballs. You know what I mean? That's what I thought mothballs were.
Like, how have I never seen these balls? Lucky me.
I mean, the thing is, also, I've never had moths eat my clothes.
You never had like moths in your house?
I've had moths in my house, but never on my clothes. And I would like shoo them out or something. You know what I mean? Sometimes you like leave the back door open.
Shoot.
Moth flies in. I'd always be like, get out of here.
Be gone, moth.
Get out of here, moth. But I have never had my clothes eaten by moths. So if I feel like if it had happened, I would have learned this earlier, but I'm making excuses for myself, basically. Michelle tells me that apparently mothballs are something you buy to keep moths from eating your clothes. She's hiding some secret knowledge from me that I've never heard about. She's like, because, I mean, I forgot what I said, but she was like, wait, what? Mothballs are like, yada, yada. And that's why it smells, and that's why old people's houses smell like mothballs, because they have to buy that stuff for their clothes. I was like, oh yeah, of course, yeah, I knew that, yeah.
I mean, duh.
I try to play it off. This is really just a test to see if Michelle listen to this thing, but that was bad, man.
Yeah, because I feel like I remember learning what mothballs were, but it was like it's a very specific memory. I was like in a grocery store in Ruidoso, New Mexico with my family, and I like saw a pack of mothballs. And I was like, "These are mothballs." And my mom or my dad was like, "Yeah, you have to like put them in your closet sometimes so like the moths don't get in there and eat your clothes."
That's amazing. I don't think I've ever seen them.
I was like a little boy.
I need to go buy some mothballs. I need to figure out what it is.
Smell them,
feel them.
Just get really acquainted with what a mothball is.
Yeah,
and what it does,
and never forget.
Never forget.
Never forget. Well, man, I'm thoroughly embarrassed, to be honest. But I do feel like something is lifted off my soul.
Yeah, get all that embarrassment off of you.
Yeah, please ridicule us.
If anything, these podcasts will be cathartic for us.
Yeah, I'll be like, this was free. It's cheaper than therapy.
If there's anything you need to get off your chest with an embarrassing fact that you recently found out, maybe something we just told you right now.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. Please let us know about that.
Comment at us below.
Am I ridiculous about not knowing what mothballs are?
I mean, you are ridiculous,
right?
and it is really funny that you didn't know what mothballs were. I think it's
essential knowledge,
it's
and I didn't know it.
It's common knowledge.
Lame.
For sure. If you think David's a dummy,
lame.
Comment below.
Lame.
All right, so I think that does it for our little gaps in knowledge segment.
Yeah.
Us showing our embarrassing sides to our listeners here, I guess. And just whack your microphone stand real hard.
My bad. Well, it sounds to me. It sounds like you're talking about Peeps and Predicts and Batman time. Let's do this thing.
It can't be Batman time. It is Peeps and Predicts. Yes, now it does have. Batman is a reoccurring character, but that doesn't mean he's going to be there forever.
He is the king. Long live the king.
The current standing reigning champ. Currently. For now.
Do you want to tell us what old Peeps and Predicts is? We might have some people who've never seen this before.
Yeah, so if you've never heard of us before, this is your first experience with what we do and who we are. There's a little segment that we always do at the end of these podcasts called Peeps and Predicts, where we take some peoples, two of them to be more specific, more Pacific, if you will, and we put them in a situation that maybe they wouldn't normally be in every day.
Okay.
But we're going to see who's going to come out on top. And at the end of these challenges, the champion will go up against the reigning champion, who unfortunately is currently Batman.
For like 4 episodes.
For a while, maybe more.
Maybe more. I don't know. We got to go back and count him. But he is the champion. Frank, why don't you go and pull the peeps out over here?
Oh,
I
right.
thought this was the peep jar, but it wasn't. It was predicament jar.
I'm reaching this jar of peeps. Still pretty stacked. If you
Yeah, you just
have
banged your
any
microphone.
suggestions, well, now we're even. If you have any
Yes.
suggestions for 2 peeps that might do well in challenges against
Yeah.
each other, or situations in which 2 people could find themselves in a challenge, maybe comment below.
Let us know.
Maybe shoot us an email at wedidapodcast@gmail.com.
Nice plug. Oh, man.
Plug it. Today we've got Ryan Reynolds versus Paul Rudd. This is a good pairing.
Interesting,
This
yeah.
is a fine pair.
2 snarky
I'm
guys.
happy with it.
Okay, real quick, before we start this, let's set the parameters. Are we talking about just the actor in the world, or are we bringing in, like, oh, Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool? You know what I mean? Or, like,
Well, obviously the more ridiculous one.
the more ridiculous one. Okay, cool. Just making sure we're on the same page here. Well, I pulled out the first predicament
Ooh.
already on accident, but it's pulled, so.
We'll make the
And-
best with this predicament.
It's boxing.
Well, I can already see some advantages and disadvantages just
Yeah.
physically.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you're going, like, by percentage, Ryan Reynolds has been shredded a longer time than Paul Rudd has.
Well, that and Paul Rudd is just like not a huge guy. He's just like a little bit on the
Is he a
tiny
little
side.
shorter?
He's a little bit shorter, I feel
How
like.
tall is he?
I don't know. How tall do you think Paul Rudd is? Let's find out.
Didn't we do this last time with, like, Jeff Foxworthy and someone else? And I was right by,
Did
like,
we have to
an
look up
inch.
physical stats on Jeff Foxworthy?
Yeah, we had to figure out how tall Jeff Foxworthy was compared to someone else. I don't remember what it was, but it
For
was
some reason, I don't remember that, and I feel like that's
and
something to remember.
You were so sure that this other guy was taller than Jeff Foxworthy, and Jeff Foxworthy was like an inch taller. It was like 6 foot and 6'1". Let me see here.
Do you look up Ryan Reynolds
Oh, okay.
really quick?
Let me pull out my phone. Paul Rudd
'Cause I'm checking Paul Rudd.
You know what? Paul Rudd probably is shorter, and I would guess that he's like 5'10".
Paul Rudd?
Yeah.
You'd guess that Paul Rudd is 5'10"?
Yeah, what do you think?
Well, it's just that I already know because I was looking it up, and he is 5'10".
Whoa. What's Ryan Reynolds is 6'2"?
See, that's like... It's not much, but that's a good little reach advantage right there, David.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds' height. Let me see. That was my guess. I don't know if it's for sure how tall he is, but we'll find out.
I wouldn't be surprised.
He's 6'2".
David, what a weird talent you have for guessing the heights of celebrities.
Wow. I got it right last time, too. I was like, yeah, Jeff Foxworthy, like 6'1". Dude, I'm like 3 for 3. That's pretty incredible. I'm glad you were here to witness that there was no shenanigans going on.
I'm just going to delete this recording.
Well, that would be
like,
the best
dude,
way to not give me any credit
I
whatsoever.
don't know what happened, man. It's all just gone, David. I think somebody broke in and deleted it.
I was like, how tall was he? Was he like 6'5"? Sure. Okay, so... Okay, yeah. Ryan Reynolds has the height advantage. For sure.
Yeah, for sure.
If we're getting into, like, characters they've played, this basically boils down to Deadpool versus Ant-Man.
Versus Ant-Man.
And Ant-Man can be microscopic.
He could.
He
That's
could-
hard to fight.
That's hard to fight, and he's also more powerful. But I think if you're going to be fair, for every Ant-Man Paul Rudd has played, he's also played the schlubby guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can't think.
Not particularly schlubby. He's not like Seth Rogen.
Ryan Reynolds will do Goofy, but I don't know if he's ever done like... Just like the
That's true.
dweeb.
Well,
Almost.
the dweeb, yeah, maybe not.
Well, I don't think Paul Rudd's ever super dweeby either.
He's not the
That's like
dweeb.
not a
He's-
good word.
He's the sweet. He's
The
the
more
sweet,
passive
nice
one?
guy. He's the nice guy. That's who
Yeah.
Paul Rudd is. The nice guy doesn't win the boxing fight,
Nice guy doesn't win the boxing
especially
fight.
when he's a little bit shorter. And Deadpool might not be a great boxer, but I'm sure he'd beat up Ant-Man. I don't know. That's a better peeps and predict. Deadpool versus Ant-Man. Who even knows how to decide that? That's ridiculous. It would be Ant-Man technically. You know, if he was really going for it, he could like turn microscopic, get up into his brain and like scramble it. But Ant-Man's not that messed up because he's a comic book character. So, but that's what he should do to every bad guy. Then Ant-Man just wins all of them. I'm just saying. I don't know. How are you feeling about this? Are you leaning towards?
I feel like character-wise, for the most part, like Ryan Reynolds would take it.
Right.
But the Ant-Man thing really has me pulling for Paul Rudd
Rudd.
over here.
That's like that's a big sway.
Well,
But
I'm
you know
just
what?
gonna
Okay,
well, give me your argument because I'm about to vote.
Here's the argument right here. That's not in Ant-Man's character to do that. And I say that having only ever seen the Ant-Man movie and know nothing else about the character. But Ant-Man's like a scientist. He's not like a brutal murderer who's going to like rip someone up from the inside. You know what I mean?
Yes, but what if they're in a boxing match, like a celebrity boxing match for charity?
Okay.
Ant-Man would totally be down for that.
He would. And isn't the whole thing about like he's small, he's like 20 times his strength or something? He can like smack stuff real good. Oh, man.
He'll smack it real good.
I have no idea. Well, what do you think?
I'm going for Paul Rudd / Ant-Man on this one.
Whew.
It's not about the size of the dog in the fight, David. It's about that dog being able to shrink down to ridiculously small sizes and have incredibly superhuman strength. Incredible superhuman strength.
I mean, I can see that. I'm just not. I don't know if I'm 100% convinced. I feel
Well, if
I'm
this
leaning a
has to
little
go
more
to a
towards
tiebreaker
Deadpool.
to Michelle, this is just going to go for Ryan Reynolds, obviously.
Oh, that's a good point. We could like save the time and just say Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, if this is going to a tiebreaker, then we might as well just call it for Ryan Reynolds.
How about we do this? This is not kosher, but let's table this predict. Let's hear the next one.
Hold on.
Figure out where we're at.
On the spot.
Yeah.
Before this podcast began, David had asked me if there were any changes we would like to make to Peeps and Predict since we're in this whole new year, new show. I'm going to throw one at you right now on the spot.
Oh, shoot.
What if the initial round was best 2 out of 3, first to 2?
First to 2. Interesting.
In order to even face the champion.
And then what is the champion? They go through all 3 again?
Well, no, the champion could just be a one-off.
So then a new predicament?
Yeah, new predicament.
Interesting.
We're going to start burning through these predicaments,
Yeah,
but that's its own predicament.
That's for... I like the new predicament thing. I think that's real good. But how about we just do 2?
2?
And let's just let's keep it at 2 and then add a third one. Because I feel like we're going to double it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
We've only been doing 2 predicaments.
All right, let's do this.
Yeah, because it's gonna we'll run through like we don't have as many predicaments as we do Peeps. Just to be honest,
TBH.
we'll be out in like next episode. You know what? Ant-Man, dude. It makes sense. It makes sense. If he wanted to, he could trash Deadpool.
I feel like he totally could.
Yeah, like if he really wanted to do it.
Like Deadpool would have way better jokes, but in the end, he would go home a loser.
Now I know we're not doing this comparison right now, but for instance, Batman. Just saying, he would have some kind of like jammer that would prevent Ant-Man's suit from working. That would be Batman's solution to it. He would have, or like some microscopic bat drone that like kill. You know what I mean? Deadpool has no skill set beyond just being like a loudmouth mercenary.
True.
He can't go about facing it other than brutal strength, and it's not going to pull it off in this boxing match.
No, I would agree with you that
Yeah.
like Deadpool would not beat Batman for sure.
I'm talking Batman would be Ant-Man.
He might if he had like if
Batman
he
knew ahead of time?
If he knew ahead of time, then
Yeah.
yes, I agree with you.
But he always
But
has
if
something
Ant-Man-
extra in his utility
If they
belt,
just
too.
like met each other and they fought,
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe not.
Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, I'm with you on Ant-Man. Let's draw one of these out of here.
Boom, Ant-Man, get me one of those things.
Get one of them. Get yourself one.
I think I got an extra. No, I only got one. Let's see what we've got here. Creating a successful YouTube channel.
Meta. Creating a successful YouTube channel. I can't say that Paul Rudd's not charming, but Ryan Reynolds is more charming. And he's more attractive.
I was going to say, even beyond handsome, he is just a character.
Yeah. And then if you add in Deadpool on his own, Ridiculous. Like,
Well, that's why he made such a good Deadpool.
No one cares about Ant-Man. Yeah, Deadpool happened because of how popular Ryan Reynolds was.
Definitely.
And his, like, snarkiness.
He's got snark for days, David.
And persistence, too. That's part of it. I think this is an easy...
Well, yeah.
easy Ryan Reynolds.
Sorry, Paul Rudd, but I can't even think of... No arguments are coming to mind.
Yeah.
I'm sure you would have a fine YouTube channel.
What's ironic is now we do have to go 2 out of 3.
Well...
It kind of worked out. Here we go. Yeah, we'll see. I got... Have a debate about 2 people in a predict.
What a very meta piece of predicts we're having.
I think this is George's.
George would suggest
If this is George's,
like that.
This is great, dude. So, out of these 2 people, if we had them on the podcast, which person would present a better argument?
Who would present the better argument?
Yeah.
Huh. Paul Rudd was very convincing when he had to win Phoebe back in Friends.
Oh, yeah.
He won her back real good.
He did. He's Paul Rudd, though.
He would win me back.
Paul Rudd wins them all back. That's like his role.
What? And we've
almost,
talked about
to
this
be the
before.
Win back.
Like,
yeah.
Paul Rudd always does like Paul Rudd, but I also never want him to do anything else.
Right? He's just delightful.
So
Delightful guy.
I don't know if I could find myself disagreeing with him.
I think, to be fair, though, there's just as many Ryan Reynolds rom-coms with the same thing. Although I gotta say,
I don't know any Ryan Reynolds rom-coms. None of them are like one of my favorite movies ever.
Get out of here. Get out of here, you troll.
I heard of one the other day, though. It's called Just Friends. Maybe you should watch it if you have it. I've never seen it before. Maybe it's good.
Is that like a Christmas movie or something? Kind of?
I don't know. I've never seen it.
Weird. Maybe one day. I don't know. This is really tough. Maybe we put Paul Rudd and Ryan Reynolds are too close.
It's a good match.
It's a good match. It's tough. You gotta really think about it. Ryan Reynolds probably would be a fast... Well, I don't know. They're both, like, clever.
Yeah.
It's even hard to say who's more clever than the other. Like, I couldn't say that definitely, for sure. Oh, jeez.
And Ryan Reynolds might be, like, dashing and uber handsome and charismatic, but, I mean, Paul Rudd's just so lovable.
That's true.
It's just an easygoing guy, man.
This coffee noise is way louder than I thought it was. Did it pick that up? Did you hear that?
I totally heard it. I feel like I heard it in my headphones and also through them. And
yeah, right. Sorry about that, everyone, if that made you have to use the restroom or something. Okay.
Somebody just peed their pants in traffic because of you.
Let's go. Let's go through this logically. Deadpool versus Ant-Man. Who's going to have a better matchup? Or you know what?
I feel like Deadpool would start shooting.
Let's not go Deadpool Ant-Man. Oh yeah, Deadpool would start shooting, which would work better. Maybe
The podcast will never come out. The laptop might take a hit.
Oh, that's true. We'd probably just be dead.
Yeah, we'd probably die.
Yeah, so in that
And
circumstance...
he would say something snarky about us dying.
Yeah. Ant-Man would definitely win in that circumstance. What about Friends, Paul Rudd against...
Just Friends?
Well, I was going to say Two Guys, a Girl, and a Pizza Place.
Ooh, that's a really good... I was just going for wordplay, but that's
Another
a really good
90s
character
sitcom.
match.
They're
Yeah,
like
another
this-
90s sitcom.
Yeah. What is it? Pete and... No. Berg. That's his name. Bergen. Michael Bergen.
Berg.
If you haven't seen Two Guys, a Girl, and a Pizza Place, and you like Ryan Reynolds, you have to watch that show.
Oh my goodness.
It's great. It's really good. It's like a nice little... And there's also like a Blink-182 guest stars in one episode, and they're naked. It's like really ridiculous. They play
There's
like
some
a
really
naked
solid
show.
Halloween episodes.
There's some good Halloween. Back in the 90s when like every sitcom Halloween episode was just this weird like alternate universe and everyone like people were dying
Just
or like
completely non-canonical
totally
episode.
yeah, those were great. I miss shows doing that. You know what I mean? That should come back.
Here's one for fun.
Yeah, we should do that.
I think all of these are for fun.
Yeah, that's true. I'm kind of leaning more towards Paul Rudd.
Kind of feeling Paul Rudd on the debate side too.
I feel like Ryan Reynolds would get too like.
I was gonna say he would get way more worked up. Just if we're bringing his movie characters into play.
Yeah, way more worked up. Whereas Paul Rudd is usually pretty reserved and reasonable. And you always side with him.
Always.
For instance, Knocked Up. His wife's totally crazy. Paul Rudd's just a nice guy. That movie does not have well-written female characters. They're all really bad. They're all really bad and selfish, and it's probably because it was written by a man. Just saying.
Hashtag just saying.
Hashtag just saying.
Well, that makes Paul Rudd today's champion.
That does, man, but...
That's his 2 out of 3.
Now, new and improved. Let's pull out one more. And he goes head-to-head with Batman, which I kind of like this better. Otherwise, it's just like, okay, well, now what about Batman? I don't know. Too many sides to the conversation previously.
I hope it's who can be a better ant. Outrunning the police, and in parentheses it says not the band.
Outrunning the police. Okay, I mean, I feel like I don't even need to make this argument. But Batman is like famously a vigilante. He's famously like not like, but in a weird way in that storyline he works with the police.
I was gonna say it's because he's got a man on the inside.
But it's just Commissioner Gordon. All the other police officers go
Gotham.
after him all the time too.
What if he's out of his jurisdiction?
That's true. But that's way more like, for some reason in Marvel comic books it never seems like the police are after them as much.
No.
Until Civil
they
War,
probably
when
also
apparently they
suck, and that's why these cities are in such dismay.
Yeah, in Batman, the police are more gritty. It seems like they're more willing to, like, I don't know, rough them up or something if they catch them.
Yeah, like an average Gotham police officer would probably shoot at Batman if given the chance.
Yeah, exactly. I'm only being, like, semi-partial because I love Batman also, but I'm also trying to, like give a legitimate... Keep the streak
alive.
No, I'm not trying to keep the streak alive. I'm trying to be, like, legitimate.
Give a legitimate argument.
Give a legitimate argument. But in this case, I mean, not to sound like a broken record, Batman's got way more experience in it, man.
Yeah, but does his experience trump Ant-Man's ability to become the size of an ant?
It kind of does in a weird way.
It makes it really hard to find.
Because Ant-Man, everyone knows is Hank Pym. Like, people know he's a scientist. People don't know who Batman is. Like, eventually, it's either like Hank Pym has to be like constantly a little tiny ant for the rest of his life, or
ants do it.
Yeah, but he doesn't want to do that. You know what I mean? He doesn't want to live in some like weird giant world or whatever.
Just makes himself like a tiny little house somewhere.
No, the world is giant. Yeah, he's small. Whereas Batman just goes out to like millionaire functions, billionaire functions.
Just acts like kind of a duty head.
Yeah, because he's ahead of the game. He's too smart for him. They'll never catch him. I'm just saying, Batman. Obviously, it's Batman.
I know it's bad. I'm trying to think of arguments, but none of them are coming from a fair place. There's got to be something in that jar that somebody can beat Batman at.
Here's the problem, everybody, and by problem I mean a blessing in disguise. Batman is just written to be good at everything, like most DC superheroes. Like, Superman was written to be like an unstoppable train. Like, that's not just a cheap joke towards the train thing. But they've all got way too many powers. They're all, like, way too capable. Whereas I feel like in Marvel comic books, the characters are more vulnerable.
They got a flaw.
Yeah. Whereas, like, Superman's weakness is kryptonite. Like, we all obviously know that. But that's a rock from an alien planet.
Batman's is his dead parents.
Yeah. And he just gets himself out of any situation, basically, because he outsmarts everyone. Somehow he thinks 9 steps ahead, and the way he does that is because that's how he's written. He's just written that way. Batman's here to stay, everybody. If you don't like Batman, if he's not your favorite superhero like Frank, I don't know what to tell you. Get used to it. Peeps and Predicaments, Batman 2020. That's all I'm saying.
If you think Batman is not a superhero, comment below. Please let us know how you feel. If you have suggestions, shoot them towards us. If you got comments, comment them below. Give us a subscribe. Give us a like if you liked it. Give us a dislike if you didn't like it.
Yeah.
If you didn't like it,
Yeah.
tell us what you didn't like about it, and be sure to address it towards David.
That's fair enough. That's amazing. If you don't like it and it's because of Batman, then tough luck, dude. Batman's awesome. That's all I'm saying.
If you can think of a predicament in which you believe that somebody can beat Batman, that just Batman's not cut out for this situation. There's got to be one. Somebody can think of it. I'm too filled with hate to concentrate on it. Please shoot us an email at wedidapodcast@gmail.com.
And you know what? If you have the winner, the offer still on the table, we'll get you a shirt. Not a We Did a Podcast shirt, but just some shirt. We'll find a shirt and we'll send it to you.
Just a nice shirt. We'll just get you a real nice shirt.
If your predicts the one that takes down Batman, which good luck because it's not ever going to happen, we'll see what happens.
We'll record the podcast, find out it was the winner. We'll run to Ross. They're open till like midnight.
All I'm going to say is, and I want you to be ethical about this. I just feel like I need to be ethical in telling you this. The best chance for Batman to get knocked out would be next week when we have 2 guests on. Although I want to say they're both Batman fans. I know for sure one of them is. So just think about that. And hopefully if you guys tune in, we'll be live on Saturday, 17th.
Coming at you live. Well, thanks for listening. Goodbye.